Hello and welcome back to Fans United Podcast, the show where two clueless geniuses tackle all things Manchester United and a beautiful game. I'm Chris Henning, lifelong Red Devils fan and part-time armchair manager.
And I'm Graham, the apparent voice of reason, despite being mentally ill and very acerbic, which you could just believe is a fancy way of saying miserable, sarcastic sod. I'm still here because I feel guilty for letting Chris down during Season 1. After a 4-year absence, I'm calling it Season 1. So should you. And I also speak the occasional sensible thing when he starts talking about winning the treble every August. If you're looking for insightful football analysis, you've come to the wrong place. If you're here for two Bucky just giving questionable takes on some light emotional trauma, welcome home! Now let's get this podcast started.
Good evening. And how are you?
Yay!
Well, I'm happy because after one game of the Premier League season, we have equals last year's position and we have a better goal difference.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. The Premier League has started, football is back, men can talk about stuff again.
Random, just rubbish stuff.
Just, hey.
XG, other unicorns, other made-up stuff.
Just random men meeting in shops all across the world going, hey, football, yeah.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, if you're American, soccer.
Or in our instance, meeting up on Sunday in a dark, dank corner of a bar.
Absolutely. I missed the dank. So welcome. I'm Graham.
I'm me.
He's Henning, Chris.
Henning Chris.
Henning Chris. Man of the hour.
Just the hour. That's a very, very ambitious.
Well, it depends what that hour's for. We are ready to raid properly like a good old VAR decision.
It was good to see. I think it was a great analogy. The first game of the season, Friday, already awful refereeing decision.
Oh yes, we'll get on to that because we will talk about whatever else deserves our scorn. But on today's agenda, we will be talking about, of course, Manchester United's opening game of the season to Arsenal. We will then talk about the rest of the opening weekend, what surprises us, where we think things are going to land, Matty's Mailbox, which we have a question for.
We do have a question.
And of course, whatever we close with, which
it's usually drivel.
Well, it's usually drivel, and in the past it was smut, but we've been told not to swear by Triple D. Because his nephew, I don't know what age is nephew that listens to this show every so often, that he poisons his mind with our
12 maybe?
Nonsense. 12? 12?
Should be. He knows all the words, doesn't he?
He probably knows how to get a VPN to watch Pornhub at this point. I mean, let's be honest. No. You not see The Guardian?
I need to give him a call.
Did you see The Guardian today?
No.
There was actually an article saying that...
was it stop children?
Yeah, stop children using VPNs to access porn. It's like...
That's because they're being asked by adults to get VPNs.
My parents don't know what a VPN is. I have to set up the VPN for them for stuff. It's like, and it's not even porn related.
I know. No, I saw the headline. I didn't know it was in the Guardian. Saw, stop your children using VPNs.
Mommy, can I have a VPN for Christmas?
I know. Sounds like a vape pen.
It does. So the season spectacularly kicked off this weekend for us.
It was Sunday.
Yes. With a 1-0 win for Arsenal.
For Arsenal, yes.
Unfortunately. But
I'm upbeat.
I'm slightly upbeat. I'm slightly annoyed that Ricardo Calafiore pounced with a 30 minutes flap from Bayendia.
Yes. I think when you look at it, when you're looking at a football game, you've got the result and the performance. Those are two things that really define the game. You want to get the result in your favour and you want a good performance. Sometimes, like Arsenal, didn't really have a good performance, but you got the win. And that is the most important thing at the end of the day. But we had the performance and didn't get the result. So while I hear people bleating on about Man United fans going on about they lost the game. True, not going to argue with that. But I think what we saw in that 90 minutes, we were, all of us to a man in the bar, we were all happy with that performance because it's night and day. I can't remember. I think the last time I put in the WhatsApp group, the last time that we had a performance like that was the FA Cup final against City, where we were dominant, controlled the game. But before that, it's a very, very long time. I can't really think of when that performance. You obviously are maybe bringing up the stats there.
I said, I know you love stats.
I like some stats. I don't like made up modern stats.
Every stat is made up.
No, these new name of XG and all that.
Yeah, crap. There's a reason for XG. It is proven.
Is it?
You have a stronger XG.
We have a stronger XG.
Yes, you show a more dominant XG consistently. You get more points.
Well, they didn't work out that last season. Our XG was higher than
our expected XG.
That's right. We're not making up.
In terms of shots and shots on target, but not in terms of pressure and keeping momentum.
World is absolutely hyped. We're now got made up XG. Right.
All stats are made up. I told you this.
I know. On to the stats that you have there.
Look, if I said at the bar after how many? 2?
Beverages?
I can't actually remember because I don't usually drink.
It's anticipation that we were watching United. Graham said, we're all getting tanked up here, but we were pleasantly surprised.
I was pleasantly tipsy too. But so
was Simo. Just on a note before you went out there, we left. I was walking out the car park with Fry, Simo. Simo was getting the vodkas into him and walking out the car park. He went, "Oh, I have had a drink today."
Oh man, who?
Oh yeah.
No, never mind. No, I don't mean that. Obviously, I do remember John was actually with us. Obviously,
after being prompted.
No,
that's still one of our.
I had said during the game, if first half and then second half, when the stats kept coming up, I said, if you had told me last year that we were going to play against a top 6 side, play high press, play front foot, aggressive, have more possession than a possession-hungry team, have 22 shots, 7 on target, I would have went, what are you smoking? Give it to me.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
It was, again, I think, watching Monday Night Football, Gary had said last year when we played the top 6, sometimes we got a bit of result, but it was on the break or against the run of play. Not deserved as such. But that one, while we didn't score the goal, we controlled the vast majority of that game.
That's the thing. We looked in control.
Yeah.
We have not looked in control of any game for the last God knows how long. And if we looked in control of a game, it was how bad are the other team playing?
Yeah. I think the only times for last year was sometimes in Europe, which was different. But you're right. It was, it's not the norm. Again, I said it on Sunday. If we keep doing these performances and we still keep getting the results where we're not winning, that's when it will become an issue. But that's separate, and you'll only know that through time. The only factors, and you can have an inkling as to where the season's going to go, is how did we perform against one of the challengers for the league. Again, it was a bit sort of from zero. No team had form, so I get that, but they're expected to be thereabouts to the season. We were 15th last season. I can't believe the change in the team from last year in that short period of time that we've had.
That's what I was sort of, from the last podcast, when you asked me where I think United will be, I said top 5.
Yep.
And I based that purely on what I was seeing from pre-season. After seeing that performance, now there's a caveat, obviously, because what we've seen with United in the past 10 years, shall we say, is we have not maybe in the last 2 years, but certainly in the last 10 years, we would have maybe one good performance, then
5 awfuls.
one average performance, and then
it falls apart.
Utter dog muck for game upon game upon game. And then we have that
international break.
And then we have an international break where we actually played all right. And then we come back after 2 weeks looking terrible again, like we haven't seen each other for 2 years. Then the manager gets under pressure. Then the players go, well, God, it's our fault again, isn't it?
There might be one
good performance,
game.
and then it's back to muck.
And repeat.
We do have to wait until we play Fulham
I think 5 games is an indication as to whether that trend has been broken.
But the control, the high pressing against an Arsenal side who usually pass you off the pitch and have done to us repeatedly. There was competitiveness. There was a real steel, real aggressiveness.
There was also a bit of niggle.
There was.
With Cunha and Odegaard, was it?
Well, there was that
in the first half.
Yes, there was that. And then there was that moment when Ben White had gone down. He was lying on the pitch and Cunha just kept shouting over him, shouting at someone else.
Polite things he was shouting.
It could have been. It didn't look like it. And I kind of, was it you? I can't remember who it was. I said, look at that. That's what I've been missing. Just somebody just being a dick. Just somebody being a complete dick for no reason. It's like, you're wasting time, son. And then my Portuguese, I'm going to insult you. And I enjoyed that part. But I don't know, there was just an optimism. And again, Cunha and Mbeumo carrying the ball.
It was exciting.
How many times last 2 years have we seen the ball go up into the attacking third, go towards one of our forward players, and the ball cannoning off their first touch, going 5 yards up,
or the opponent's shins,
or
cutting back and the ball's coming back.
Or if they do control it, they run 5 yards and cut inside and then go backwards. Our wing backs were high up the pitch.
Dorgu was immense.
Oh, Dorgu was fantastic. He obviously hit the post.
I know someone in a group was given Delo pelters. I didn't think he was that bad at all.
I didn't think he was that bad. I think his crossing was a little off.
Yes.
But you can't deny he was where he was supposed to be based on the system, high up the pitch. We were caught out a couple of times. We weren't caught out a lot of times.
We didn't say, where's our midfield?
We were a little ragged around the edges at times.
To be expected when you're playing, if you're going to play that style of football against a challenger.
Dare I say it, we look like we've been coached this summer.
Stop using those words.
I know, we look like we've got some patterns of play. We look like we've got some
utter filth.
I know, it's weird. It's like having a VPN for Pornhub.
Patterns of play.
Which country shall I put myself down for today?
Sweden. No, I totally agree. It was what I think, as mentioned, the caveat you mentioned about if they're going to finish top 5 in your. I still think that's a little high for me, but I'm definitely more confident that I'd said top 10. I'm confident that we should exceed that, but the 5 games is a good marker for whether the trend has been broken. But the key thing is we need the issues if you can sort of imagine we fixed how we play, what we still need to fix is the scoring of the goals, which time that will only, we can't expect to be playing Arsenal, City, Liverpool and scoring 3 goals. In those games, even in our pump, you're 1-0 or 2-1, you'll take that because it's a tough game. So it's these other games that
I think we have to accept as well, in the Arsenal game, we did play against an inspired David Raya. I mean, he made 7 saves, one that brilliant fingertip stop on Cunha's efforts.
And in the Instagram one for
the Instagram.
But again, he made the saves.
He made the saves.
That's the difference. I think, I don't know where I heard it. It might have been some tube of link or YouTube. He said that's the difference, and that's why we need a goalkeeper. If we had a goalkeeper, we would have got a draw that game, because they had one really good chance. It wasn't even really a good chance. It was a mistake. We were never going to get into that game again.
I think
issues.
I think I do have Look, I have occasionally, and I mean regularly, criticised our goalkeeping department in the terms of Onana and Bayindir.
Mm-hmm.
I have said in previous podcasts that Bayindir, sometimes you look at him and see how he plays, especially against that last game of the season, Aston Villa, where it's like, sometimes you look at him and think, he's forgotten that he's a goalkeeper.
That he has an advantage.
But I think in his defence, he has not played enough Premier League minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, we remember, look, David De Gea, when he came to the Premier League.
Yeah.
Corners.
Yeah.
We knew.
Everybody knew.
You know, for about 2-3 years, corners were a problem for him because they just put them right on top of him, and usually somebody about 6'5"
still on his feet and was
crashing all over him.
Yeah.
But the more Premier League minutes, the more that didn't become a problem.
Yeah.
It just ended up becoming our defending that became a problem. I do still think that there were multiple fouls, and they are at Arsenal corners multiple fouls. I'm sorry, but if you were pulling someone's shirt over almost over their head,
back.
If I'm looking at the newest tattoo on someone's back, then that's probably a foul.
I know, that's the thing I don't know, and we can move on to where I think the issues. I think people saying the keeper being fouled, it's weak. He needs to be stronger there. But in previous seasons, I've seen that being given. So that is, but in my own opinion, I don't think that was a foul. Was it Ben White? It was Saliba.
Saliba.
His shirt was over. I don't understand how that's not a foul. Or if it's not a foul, why are we not doing this?
I don't understand how at the start of the season you can have Howard Webb, head of PGMOL, the referee nonsense, saying that we are going to clamp down on holding, wrestling, pulling of the shirts in the box at corners. We're going to clamp down on that. And what do we see every time Arsenal take a corner?
Yeah.
We see about 3 or 4 of their players wrestling with defenders.
To be fair, on that one game, but the other games in the weekend, which I watched, it's still going on.
It's still going on.
Arsenal obviously have honed in us, and that's fair enough for them for getting away with it. They're getting away with it.
Yeah.
So I don't know how. For me, the bigger foul was Saliba on Mount.
Yes.
Because that's not, having a go.
That's not regular jostling for position. That's
pulling your shirt over the head. So that's
you see that in ice
issue.
hockey.
And then again, Fry is saying no to this, but I'm down on that hill. Cooney was fouled in the box.
That's a penalty all day long.
I do not know how that wasn't looked at, or they went, no, that's fine.
You've come through his ankle. You've taken his standing leg away.
Yeah. Could we say, he was going down? Well, he was actually turning to shoot, took away standing leg, and he went down. Even if it is the weakest penalty, that's a penalty.
The defender
didn't get the ball.
The defender committed himself, took the player, didn't win the ball, is in the box. That's a foul anywhere else on the pitch.
Yeah. And watching Dermot Gallagher
Dermot Gallagher's an absolute.
That's a waste of time.
That whole segment has always been a waste of time. That whole thing. The man could shoot somebody on the pitch, and VAR has made a decision, and Dermot Gallagher will go, I agree with the referee's decision.
What is Dermot Gallagher? Does he just work for Sky?
He just works for Sky.
He's got no affiliation with apart from that he used to be a referee.
Apart from the fact he used to be a referee.
Is that he was now going, because he was a referee, he will never say anything again, even if it was the worst decision ever.
Is
that what he's doing there?
I challenge anyone to find me a clip where Dermot Gallagher has gone against what the referee and VAR referees have decided on the games, because I don't remember one instance where he has said, nope, that was wrong.
They must have a WhatsApp group or whatever, because that's embarrassing for him to have to come out to call that out for what it is. Said, do you know what? It might have been a bit of a mistake there. On the whole, I was really impressed with United in that Arsenal game.
Now, the challenge is, of course, can this United side, with all the optimism, the high pressing, the control, and that competitiveness that we saw in the Arsenal game, can they be consistent like that against Fulham, against Burnley, against Chelsea, against Liverpool, against everyone?
Each game is equally the same merit as the other.
I don't know. I just feel there's something different.
It does feel different, because even against the bigger teams last year, we had a go, but we didn't control any of those games.
We had no control.
So
none.
We were up for it, but again, we weren't bullying them or being the proactive one. We were maybe hitting on the brake, and that's about it. But the consistency is the key point, and we'll see how that goes for the coming season. But before we move on to the rest of the Premier League fixtures, if we're now from now to the end of the transfer window, what do you think United? Who do you think United will bring in? Do you think there'll be more transfers? Do you think they're going to bring in?
I think it's entirely based on what I'm seeing in the press, especially from Mr. Romano, who just speaks so quickly that I have to turn the subtitles on, because it's like I don't understand the word he's saying. It's like 8 minutes of video, just that. It's like, okay, thank God for subtitles. Now I know who he's talking about. I think we are definitely going to buy a midfielder. And we're going to buy a midfielder in the vein of Belieber. I don't think
it'll be him.
I don't think it's going to be him. Yeah. I think it's clear he's got 3 years left in his contract.
We're going to have to pay 100 million plus.
If we wait for next season, it's still going to be 100 million plus.
Unless he has an awful season.
There was a midfielder from Sevilla, but his name escapes me, so there's no point me even trying to remember or even trying to Google, because I just not going to get there. I know a lot of people are talking about Adam Wharton. I like Adam Wharton. He does a very good job of ball progression as well.
Yeah, I think that's an awful lot of money for him.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I can't see Palace, because if they're going to lose Gay,
they're hemorrhaging
and they're going to lose Eze, they're not going to want to lose Wharton. They're not going to, it's not like, I get this feeling that Crystal Palace are not going to do a Brentford where it's a case of, we're going to lose these players.
Yeah, or the Bournemouth.
And
we'll sell all our defenders.
I don't think
sell our midfielders.
I don't think Crystal Palace are going to go there.
I'm confident we're going to bring in at least one more.
If we do bring in a goalkeeper, it's not going to be Donnarumma.
No, well, I think his wage demands, that's where that falls down. He's going to want minimum 350.
Well, he's earning 300 at Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah.
As I say, I don't think it's going to be Donnarumma. If we do,
Costa, the Porto goalkeeper, I heard, could be available for 30 million.
Okay, well, I mean, he's been a keeper that I've enjoyed watching over the past couple of years, and a Football Manager favourite, to be honest. But the name I've seen linked to us on a regular basis and has been linked to us throughout most of the summer is Lemons from Standard Liège.
Oh, Lemons.
I don't. It's either Le Mans, Le Mans. I don't know. There's 2 M's. It looks. I don't know. Stephen Lemons.
Stephen
Lemons, the Belgian goalkeeper. And I don't know. Whether the club think bring him in to be number 1, I don't think that's it. I think it's bring him in to be the guy who will be number 1.
I know.
However, saying that, do you know who I was impressed with goalkeeping-wise? A Man United goalkeeper who I was impressed with this weekend? Vitek.
Oh!
Bristol City.
Yes.
I was very impressed watching him in the Bristol City game in the Championship. He was very commanding, took everything, and he's a big lad. I think he's 6'6", 6'7" as well. So seeing his progression will be interesting.
It's just frustrating to know that if the outfield team has improved, that we have 2 inverted commas first goalie options that have clangers just riddled through them. And it's disappointing, because I thought Bender showed signs of when he first was there that he was a decent goalkeeper, but I just don't think, unless you've got to cut your cloth accordingly and think, do you know what, we have other issues that we need to sort. We're not going to win the league, so we don't need the best goalkeeper.
This is my issue. This club has made this mistake before with David De Gea, where we created a problem that didn't need to be
a problem.
Yeah, we let De Gea go,
who would probably still be
would probably still be our starting goalkeeper,
and fixing the outfield issues first.
Yeah, exactly. But Ten Hag went, he's not my guy. Let him go. Okay, fair enough. That was your decision. He brought in Onana for 40-odd million. That was 40-odd million that could have fixed something else. Yes. And nothing worked anyway. Nothing.
Yeah. He's great at playing the ball.
And he wasn't.
Nothing's up there works.
And he wasn't. That's the other thing I wanted to mention. The sheer amount of times we played out from the back and we didn't look...
shitting ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. Even when we were in the bar.
I mean, there was a couple of times where I went to buy in deer and I went, oh, God.
Yeah, but you're right. And I think to his credit, he didn't panic. He was playing the right passes. It was coming back. And so he does look comfortable on the ball. So if he has a clanger in him, then...
I think as well, again, I'm going to say not enough Premier League minutes for him.
Yeah.
Not enough minutes in English football either, because sure, when Ten Hag brought him in as number 2, he didn't even use him as a cup goalkeeper.
Yeah, yeah.
And that to me is just, I don't understand why you do that. Has the printer just started by itself?
It sounded like it.
I didn't even know that thing was turned on.
There you go.
Who's printing it this time?
That's De Gea's contract.
That's where Madrid sent it. silly sods.
Oh, they're going to pay him 500.
Well.
Oh, nothing, David.
Well.
No, but I agree. It's playing out from the back.
Also,
at the start, we were panicky because the first time we ever saw that, we had Lindelof, Maguire trying to play out from the back, but we now have players that can actually do that. So, that's
when you say that, we have the players. We had the players last year and we didn't look like we could do it. Now now one summer of coaching, pre-season, we look like we know where we're meant to be, how we're meant to do it. We actually look coached in terms of playing out from the back. One more thing, Gyökeres debut. Alan Pardew has mauled him.
He has mauled him, but again, I think it's going to be an easy target. Don't get me wrong, we were laughing at him and having a good bit of crack and thing, but I think he's going to be a great player in the Premier League. But it wasn't a great debut.
It wasn't a great debut. I mean, the jokes that he touched his hair more times than the ball in the box is quite...
His touch looked laboured. He didn't look particularly quick.
No.
And there was one moment where he went through and crossed the ball and it went out for a throw-in. Still plenty of time. I think he will.
I think the problem is for Gyökeres, and I said it at the bar.
Yes. Lego head.
If your big-headed manager says something along the lines of defences are going to be bullied by him, that he's a beast, if you're going to big him up that much before his first game, the
defenders are going to go, the hell I am.
De Ligt looked like he had been personally affronted by this comment.
I think I saw someone on Twitter saying, De Ligt will now have half a yard more pace that Gyökeres isn't in his pocket for this when he was subbed, because that's probably one of the most dominant performances I've seen.
Yeah, because the funny thing is, I said, I can't remember if it was to Dwayne or if it was to Mark at the bar, where you look at the rest of the Premier League who've bought strikers, anybody who's bought a striker, even Isak when he was brought in by Eddie Howe at Newcastle. Was he bigged up? No, nobody bigs up their big striker.
It's the hardest thing to do in football.
I don't even think Pep bigged up Haaland when they bought him. It was just relax, let's ease him in and let him do his thing.
Well, look at Liverpool's slot. I haven't heard one word about their strikers.
No.
Well, the manager.
Well, in fairness, he might be like myself. Can't pronounce Ekateka. I can't pronounce it. I've heard it a couple of times, and yet it's still
Ekateka's in the night garden. What's Makapaka?
I don't know. It sounds like a
niche kids joke there.
Yeah. We are going to move on
the rest of
the league.
Yes. So
what do we think? What caught your eye?
Well, obviously Liverpool kicked off the season on Friday. They were a bit like the analogy you gave at the start, where you'd want a performance and a result. They got the result. I thought they were lucky getting the result, but again, you'd rather... They weren't awful in any way, shape or form, but they were very un-Liverpool-y.
They were very open. They looked very weak as a counter-attack to the transition.
The defence looked odd. Like Van Dijk looked awful.
I think...
Lord forbid anyone says anything bad about...
I think, but to me, Van Dijk looked like he didn't have a good game.
No.
For me. Certainly not to his standards.
Yeah.
I don't know. What was it? I remember someone saying at the weekend, changing both your fullbacks
It's a big
in the same in the same season is a big thing.
Yeah, especially when they're very reliant on them.
However, the left back, whose name I've just forgotten, that they bought from Bournemouth, he's at least played the Premier League. Frimpong looked a little bit, not overawed by the physicality, but he looked a little off it.
Yes.
A little bit.
Half a yard off the pace, I think.
Wirtz looked like he really wasn't expecting the physicality.
Yeah, but to be honest, look at the player who the rumour was he was on his way out getting a winner. Is it Chiesa?
Yeah.
I think that's the difference. Obviously, not just the difference. They are a better team than us at the moment, but they had players in the box. The ball, when it was dropping to them right when they be, and we're finishing. We just didn't have the. We didn't have the ball. Weren't going to feet. We weren't there, and it was just a bit higgledy-piggledy, which will come with playing, as a team together. But Liverpool, not that they got away with one, but I think just that little bit more gelled as a team, even though they have made changes.
Yes,
they got the result.
They still have the core. They still have the spine of the team that's been brilliant. Let's be honest, for the past
3-4 years. Yeah.
And I was speaking to Lee, who works in Copper Lab.
Yep.
Coffee shop here in Banbridge. Best coffee shop in Banbridge.
It is, definitely.
Has the best coffee, sells the best coffee.
It does indeed.
Has the best.
And the buns are pretty nice too.
Yeah, the cinnamon roll. Cinnamon roll.
Okay. Focus.
Nope. I am focused on my
Not on the cinnamon roll.
I'm getting one tomorrow.
What are you talking about?
Cinnamon roll.
Oh.
And a coffee. What was I talking about? Cinnamon rolls?
Cinnamon Pongal.
Yeah.
Remember him? Florence Boyd, he played for Liverpool.
But I was saying to Lee how even if Liverpool are still adjusting it and are spending and will spend a fair amount of games adjusting with this new defence,
they still have enough.
They still have Salah.
Yeah.
Who at the end of the day, if the ball is dropping to Salah in the 92nd minute and he has a chance to shoot, you kind of think to yourself,
that's got to be at least on target.
That's going to be another goal, isn't it?
I know.
Especially,
so I think the scoreline flattered them, but they've deserved that in a way because they're a good team and they've made changes.
They have the firepower.
Yes.
I did like the fact that Teka. Is his first name Hugo?
Don't know. I think it's just Eka.
Hugo.
Teka.
I'm just going to call him Hugo because I can't go through Teka all the time. Right. With one goal and one assist, apparently his golden boot.
It is Hugo.
It is Hugo. Brilliant.
There we go.
Hugo, get me my cushion. I don't know where that's from. I don't know why a cushion either. His golden boot odds tumbled from 33-1 to 14-1 after one game.
He took it really, really well.
He's got the pace and he's clearly got the talent.
Yeah.
And with a Liverpool team with that much firepower, he'll do all right.
I think he will do.
Unless they sign Isak, then he's on the bench.
No.
Which is just weird.
So I think that was a good kickoff because I thought it was a decent game on the Friday. The rest of the games on Saturday and Sunday, I mean, things that really surprised me was Sunderland's performance. I mean, I did not see that coming from. I could see them possibly nicking a win on the first game back, Stadium of Light, not putting the Premier League team to the sword.
But this is the thing. You're surprised. I was chatting to Mark, and I was saying I'm not that surprised, to be honest, because West Ham do not look right.
No,
at all.
Which is I agree with that, but I didn't think a Premier League team that hasn't really strengthened over the summer is getting beaten 3-0 by a team that more likely is going to go down. No, not that I believe that, but the way it has gone the past years of the Championship teams coming up, they've all went straight back down again. So that's what surprised me. But after seeing that, I'm now thinking, you know what? It's West Ham that's more likely to go down than Sunderland.
I don't know. You see, I was saying to people that Sunderland have spent money this summer strengthening their side for the Premier League, and to me, they've spent it well.
Yeah. Well, obviously.
Habib Diarra from Strasbourg, midfielder. Now, he's someone who's been on a radar for a lot of teams. They signed Enzo Laffi from Roma. Now, he was on loan last half of the season. They've signed him this season. They've signed Granit Xhaka, who is just experienced, Premier League experience, which you...
That's a smart signing.
They've signed Nordi Michaela, the right back from Paris Saint-Germain. That's experience as well. They've signed Robin Roofs, who's a highly rated goalkeeper from the Dutch league. I
suppose the only thing about that is that they're you said smart signings, experience, but you don't know the ins and outs of contracts, whether that's going to be, there's a lot of pressure, they have to stay up.
Absolutely. But I'm looking at the names, I'm looking at the people there, and I'm looking at their ages. 21, 23, 25, 20, Granit Xhaka 32, Michaela 27, Omar Alderete, the centre-back from Getafe, 28, Robin Roofs, 22. These are all young, hungry, physical, and...
Well, Jack has been there. There's a couple of experience there, but you've got other young, all those ones from France coming in, and they probably were given the same line. This is your market. Play really well here. You'll get a move.
No, I just think they've done very well in the transfer market. They've signed smartly.
I agree.
Where you look at West Ham. Now, West Ham, established Premier League side.
But they're actually hemorrhaging players more like it. Yeah. I think Alvarez had talked there, like he's going. Who's the one that was accused of doing dicky things?
Quetta.
Yeah, he's going too. So their transfers seem to be more on the way out.
Is he going?
Well, there's talk that he's going, yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised he hasn't sued the FA yet, because if we remember, he was going to Man City until this all happened.
Oh, that's right, actually. I forgot about that.
No, he hasn't.
No. So no, you're right. But again, I look, not disagreeing with what you're saying, but half of the transfers, the issue with transfers, until you see them play, you could buy all these players and it just doesn't work. You have to sort of give, the way that the Premier League has went these past few seasons, every single team that has went up has struggled and has went back down again. I did not expect 3-0. As I said, West Ham, obviously, I think are going to struggle this year. It's going to be a tough season for them, but I just didn't see Sunderland gelling and putting that sort of performance in.
I just find it odd with West Ham. They've signed Todibo, who they had last year, so that's not really strengthening. They signed young winger Diouf, and he looked all right when he played. The goalkeeper situation. Now, Fabianski was the number one. I think they've released him, have they?
Yes.
He was back 39, wasn't he? Oh, maybe in his 40s. I'm not too sure. They were going to sign
why they're getting rid of the goalkeeper called Areola, I just do not know. That is a Belgian name.
They were going to sign the Botafogo goalkeeper. Look, if you've seen him, and he's rated quite highly
in that pre-season friendly tournament.
In that friendly tournament. And people were saying, hey, a lot of news reports saying, yes, can see why West Ham are looking at him. He's got a lot of talent. Other clubs are probably looking at him. Apparently they had a deal all set out. And then they pulled it at the last minute and signed Leicester City's goalkeeper, who, if I remember correctly, watching last season, wasn't very good.
Where did Leicester finish?
I think they were relegated.
Yeah.
And they signed him for 23 million. I don't know. I've always been a little bit weirded out by clubs buying a keeper that has been relegated with the team, and not just relegated with the team, was at least partially responsible for a lot of the goals that they were conceding.
No, I know.
And making him the number one.
You sort of think West Ham are a bit of a yo-yo club, and it's been a while since they've been down towards the bottom end of the league, properly bottom end of the league. You just don't know how they aren't, stabilising as a club.
Callum Wilson on a free. Callum Wilson, if you can keep him fit, he may get you a few goals this season, but he's not going to score you the goals that you're missing. And West Ham have been missing goals for God knows how long. Kyle Walker-Peters, right back.
Yeah.
He's, on a free. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with West Ham.
They've got no money.
Well, clearly.
Well, was there anything else that grabbed you from the weekend game?
Yes. Everton.
Mm-hmm.
Lost to Leeds.
Yes.
Leeds.
I thought that was a very harsh penalty. If I'm being,
I can see why it's a penalty.
No, I can see why, but I mean, it takes a deflection, pops up, and it hits him. I can
say what I'll say is it's harsh when you consider the fact that
I don't know what a penalty is anymore.
Ten
Hag was sacked last year.
Was it in the Liverpool game where Bournemouth player? It wasn't. Yes, basically reached out for the ball and fingertipped it.
He seen through it anyway and
changed the direction of the ball with his hand.
Yes. Yeah.
Even if it was just a slight touch, it's still, he reached for it and he touched it with his hand. Yeah. And VAR looked at it and went, nah, mate, that's not a handball.
I know. So I think the referee blew the whistle there, and the issue was they couldn't then look at it.
Whereas Tarkowski can quite correctly say, my arm was at my side. And yes, he leaned into it, but he never changed, his arm never changed direction. He never, so I don't know. It is harsh.
Do you think it's going to be a hard season for Everton?
I think it is. They haven't solved their problem from last year, which is they can't score goals.
Mm-hmm.
They've signed.
I watched that game. I watched the second half, and they were never scoring.
They were never scoring goals. I mean, Grealish came on and
played like he played at City.
Yeah.
But I suppose Leeds were set up. Every time he got the ball, he was looking to do something. Then he would just pass the ball.
But the thing
inside.
is, you watch Leeds play, and a lot of the players that they have a lot more pace than Everton displayed, and that's a worry. I mean, where's the pace in that side?
Well, Grealish should have pace.
Well, he should do. Look at the size of his cars, for God's sake. He should be the Flash.
Yeah.
Running to the pub. But Beto looked completely off it. And mind you, I've never seen Beto play well since he's joined Everton.
Yeah.
They've signed this striker Barry from...
Barry?
Was it Villarreal? I can't remember.
Barry from Spain?
Barry from Spain. And it's going to take him time to get into the Premier League rhythm.
You think, so you're thinking West Ham and Everton, do you think that the three promoted teams will all be relegated?
I think
Burnley
will be. I think Sunderland will make a good fist of it. I think Leeds will make a good fist of it.
Do you think Leeds of the three have the best chance of staying up?
I think they do. And one player that really impressed me, as much as I hate to talk about any Leeds player impressing me, but I do have to say I loved watching him play against Everton, because I didn't watch a lot of Leeds in the Championship, but Tanaka.
Yes.
I mean, that kid never stopped running once until basically it looks like he got cramp. It's like, come on off, quick.
I know. Yeah, he did look impressive.
He was very impressive.
If you got to where your sole aim is, and it should be for promoted teams, is finish 17th. Yeah. You need workhorses like that who will run until they drop.
I was watching Tanaka play, and all I kept thinking was Park Ji-sung.
100%.
Workhorse.
Yes.
Absolute workhorse. And I thought to myself, that's the kind of player that United are looking for now for their midfield. Someone who's just going to cover every blade of grass, chase after every lost ball, everything. Mm-hmm. And hopefully doesn't decide in the 85th minute, when there's two players out on his right waiting for a pass, doesn't decide to balloon that ball way over the bar. Ugarte.
I thought he really came into his own last season, but pre-season and when he came on, he wasn't great. I just remember, I can still see it when we were in the bar, and you knew the moment he thought about having a shot, collectively we're like, pass it.
We were all saying pass it. We're all pointing.
Yeah. Okay. So we think then you're going to go for Leeds. I'm going to be, just for the sake of slight controversy, go with, I think, Sunderland of the three teams, best chance of staying up.
I think Sunderland are going to have a good chance. I think they will certainly make a better fist of it than Burnley. Burnley just didn't look like they are going to score goals.
Yeah.
And you need to score goals. If you're not going to score goals, you definitely need to keep them out. And
is that your hot take?
They failed.
Yeah.
They failed in the first game. Whereas seeing Leeds defend
and
seeing Sunderland defend,
there's a bit of structure there.
There's strength there. Yeah. There's nous there. There's something that about those teams.
I suppose them playing Everton and West Ham
probably helps.
But also
and at home, their home form is going to be very key.
But I mean, though they're established Premier League teams, that they didn't buckle. They didn't look out of sort. They didn't look like, especially in Sunderland's case, that they nicked the win. You know, the argument Leeds probably was an element of fortune because it was getting late on the game, but they did match them. Everton never looked like they were going to score in that game.
No. I mean, David Moyes' hair looked more dishevelled with every passing minute. Every time the camera went on him, it's like, someone get him a comb.
Poor guy.
Poor guy. So we're going to move on to segment 3, which is Matty's mailbox.
Yay! I love Matty's mailbox.
You love Matty's box. Now, if I had said that, you'd have been telling me off.
Oh, sorry, Matty. Yes, so the message this week comes from David McCaig. His question is, for United, what constitutes realistic success this
Realistic
season?
success.
Yeah, not obviously, what we realistically think. So I've already touched on this in the last podcast.
What?
And
just because I had a dirty laugh?
You did have a dirty laugh. I think realistic, and I'm going to ignore the improved performance
Okay.
that we had on Sunday, which I did not expect. I'm still going to stick with realistic success for me as a United fan this season is top 10 and 2 decent cup runs.
Okay, top 10 and 2 decent cup runs.
At least the semi-final
is your real.
What I think will be success. Just after last season being so horrendously awful, I know.
That's your realistic.
Well, that's
expectation.
But that I think that is realistic, because I think after one game, if for argument we get put out of the League Cup early, he's going to be under pressure.
He's under pressure now.
I know, but that's what I mean. I think this could turn, and if we got put out of the FA Cup, we're just left with the league very early. I think we're still in precarious position here. So if I'm being realistic, top 10, possibly 7th, but realistically top 10.
Okay, realistic.
Because I do think while we had a great performance, there's still Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Chelsea, Villa.
Anybody else?
Yes. Palace.
Right.
And Forest.
Okay.
Are better than us.
Oh dear. Realistic. Well, okay. If we want realism, then what's this person's name again?
David.
Okay, because all I could think about was cake. I don't know why. I heard cake. So
not David. My cake.
Is that his name?
It's David McCaig. Yes.
It just sounds like cake. Just maybe it's a combination of Matty's mailbox and cake that's got me going.
The cinnamon roll, you're thinking about it still?
Oh, cinnamon rolls. Oh, my God. Those cinnamon rolls are fantastic.
Okay.
They really are.
Focus. Not on the cinnamon.
Have you tried the sticky rolls? They're great. They're great too.
Too many jokes.
There's no.
There are. In my head, there are.
Well.
Cool. You're saying realistic.
You want realism? We were crap last year.
Yes.
Realistic goal? Survive the Premier League. That's the realistic. Based on last year's form, if we're not taking the Arsenal performance into consideration, surviving, maybe staying, maybe 14th, maybe improving a little bit, maybe scoring, maybe having a striker that scores maybe more than 5 goals. Those are realistic aims.
They're lofty expectations.
No. You want lofty expectations, then buckle yourself in, son. It's going to be look. Realistically, if we want to go down this realistic route, a top 10 finish and good cup run. Maybe if we win a cup, because let's be honest, we've been crap for years. We still
cups,
and we still end up getting in cup finals.
We're still in our banter era. We still won more cups than Arsenal have.
But screw that. Let's dream a little. No, dream. Top 5. Top 5. Is my aim for success. Well, I think if we get top 5,
get Champions League this year.
Yes, it would. Coefficient, probably.
So that's what I mean. It's not decided yet, isn't it? Later on in the season,
it's not decided yet. But based on
past performance, it should be. We should be.
Yeah, but I mean, we got to a final. Chelsea got to a final.
Yeah.
Who else? A couple of other teams got to semi-finals. So English clubs have done very well in Europe. So,
but it is later on in the season. We'll find out whether a 5th will get you that. But
no, to heck with it.
So you think we'll qualify for the Champions League?
Absolutely. No. To heck with
Absolutely no.
Sorry, what were you saying? I was thinking of cinnamon rolls. What?
I said, do you think we'll show or qualify for the Champions League? And you went, absolutely, no.
No.
And I'm like, is that absolutely?
I was, I don't know.
No.
Well, I might need to save myself off a couple of days of editing. You never know. Give myself an out.
Number 8.
Exactly.
Okay.
But no, honestly, I think realistically,
I'm probably being very, very super safe at the top 10 because I don't want to get excited off the one performance. I do think we played really, really well.
Well, it depends. I mean, how do you want to define success? I mean, if you want to define success as just being better than last season, then anything above 15th is a success.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's why I'm erring on the side of caution, because I still think, I think probably with the realistic expectation of let's see how these next 5 games are. Where are we scoring goals? Because that's going to be an issue for us, is the scoring of the goals.
No, but I just want, after the pre-season, the positivity, seeing that Arsenal performance, I think we will have a better season than people are expecting.
Mm-hmm.
I see the BBC, all their pundits, I think on average had us around 8th.
Yeah. Spurs
being better placed than us.
Which I saw Carragher said he thought they were going to be 6th.
Yeah.
After they finished 16th.
Yes.
But thought it was too much of a jump for United to be 4th or 5th for being 15th.
Yes.
But so I don't get that logic. It's just, I can't, you've got those 3 teams that are better than us, and we're now saying, okay, are we going to get above Chelsea, Villa, and Spurs?
Villa. Here's the thing with Villa. I know we've gone through. We've already done the what we noticed about the Premier League games this weekend. But another one thing I did notice, we're talking about Villa and Newcastle, whom a lot of pundits have put above us this season as well. Should finish above us. Now, that game, Villa versus Newcastle, essentially Newcastle were all over Villa. Villa looked severely undercooked.
Mm-hmm.
Villa had a striker, they couldn't get the ball to him. They sold Jacob Ramsey to Newcastle for 40 million. That was confirmed yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
There was a stat that they put up where they basically said most assists for Aston Villa last year. And whose name was at the top?
Does it JR?
Jacob Ramsey. So they've sold the person that provided a lot of assists, created a lot of chances for them, to a club who...
A rival
who looked like, against Villa, they didn't have a problem creating chances. They had a problem not being able to score them because they've got a striker who's on strike and wants to go to Liverpool.
Yeah.
And so Newcastle need to buy a striker, but they can't really buy a striker until they sell
a striker.
The one that doesn't want to play.
But they don't want to sell that striker because it's got so far. They're looking to prove a point.
And yet it'll probably be very toxic for them to keep him because, let's be honest, bridges have been burned.
I think that's being very polite, saying
well and truly.
Scorched.
Villa will probably improve throughout the season. They might maybe dip into the transfer market, but I haven't heard anything lately about what they're doing. All I've heard is Villa and Newcastle and their fans complaining about PSR is keeping us from doing stuff. It's like, well, you don't make enough money.
Yep.
And you spend a lot of weight on wages.
Rashford.
It's
that's how it works.
Oh, but it's a cartel. It's like your club's voted for this.
Oh no.
That's the funny thing. Your clubs voted for it. Both of them. At the time. Kind of no sympathy there.
Oh no.
But how can United do it? It's like, we make a shitload of money.
Oh no. We're awful.
And
we're really good at making money.
And we sorted out our wages by getting rid of Rashford for one.
Oh, no.
And I think Villa will improve, but they really looked off the boil. Newcastle have that problem. Spurs play Burnley.
Yeah, no.
We need to see Spurs being tested a bit more.
Yeah. I have to say the Super Cup game.
Yes.
I thought in the first half Spurs played really, really well.
I do like Thomas Frank.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that you could see that he's already brought in Because you remember a lot of the talk about Brentford last season, the season before, their fast starts.
Yeah.
Where literally from the kickoff, boom, more often than not, they scored a goal within the first 5 minutes because they started very well. Spurs, you could see Spurs have taken that approach. Yeah. They attack from the off very fast. But again, Spurs goals. Richarlison hasn't really scored a lot of goals since
he's not
joined.
going to get you 20 goals.
Solanke, is he going to score you 20 goals? I'm not too sure how many goals he scored, but it certainly wasn't.
Madison, when he was there, he would have chipped in with goals. He's not going to be there pretty much for the season.
I did read there, apparently Eze is getting close to signing for Spurs, which is...
It would be a great signing.
A great signing. I think Eze is a fantastic player. Sad for Palace, losing a player like that, especially when they go into a European competition. Not the one they want to be, but it's a European competition. Yeah. It's fine, lads. Chelsea won it.
Yeah. Anyone can win it.
Anyone can win it.
Just win it.
You won the FA Cup, you can win this European competition.
Europa League. Yeah.
Europa Conference League. It's essentially the Europa League, only they've got the word conference in it. Just ignore it. Tipex.
Scored out.
Or white out, if you're American.
Yeah, no, I just think fifth for me is a bit of a jump for United. But
I'm going for that. I'm thinking that's where we're going to be. I think going to be top 5. I really do. And if we're not top 5,
we're not top 5.
Well, we're not top 5.
Yeah, okay.
But I think we're going to have a better season than most people think.
Well, I hope that answered your question, David. I think it did.
You think? We don't know.
Yeah. Matty has messaged there because he was going to send a message in, but he said, sorry, he was at a committee meeting. I'll have one for next week.
Cinnamon roll?
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay. So that's that. Let us know, those who listen, let us know your take. We've got social messages, media things that people go on to. I mean,
Granda.
I don't really know what. I mean, I have to apologise. Last week we didn't obviously have an episode as scheduled Saturday. You were busy.
Yeah,
you had a lot of things going on last week. I was going to record a quick 20-minute episode, but unfortunately, due to basically between football coaching, the money pit of the house causing me non-stop stress, I did let my mental health did take a bit of a nosedive, and that basically took out all motivation, including social media. And plus, I didn't really know what to say in the social medias as to why we're not giving you an episode. I could have, if I
didn't earn it.
Well, no, it's more a case of I didn't really have.
Well, I wouldn't
good reason other than.
Well, I wouldn't beat yourself.
I'm not feeling great.
That's a good enough reason.
Now that I'm feeling better, I could have easily lied and said we're waiting until the first Premier League games come out, and then we'll give you an episode, and we'll give you the episode a bit earlier.
Edit that in. No. That's what that was.
So
no worries. It'll be out this weekend.
Whether it's big or small, whether it's just nonsense,
normal size.
Just if it's crooked, if it's a bit left leaning, if it's a bit right leaning. Send us in and we will read it. If it's funny, we will certainly go for it.
Whether it's Corbyn or Farage.
Have you seen that tosser?
Which one?
Well, either one, but it's a bit of a harsh one, isn't it?
I mean, it's take your pick.
It's the
Farage in house football shirts.
Yes, that's who I'm talking about.
Is that what you're about to say?
If you remember when I
don't want to remember really.
I don't really want to remember anything about that toxic little toad. When the Lionesses shirts came out for the Euros, and they had the St. George's Cross, the stylized St. George's Cross. How dare you do that? How dare you cannot touch it. It's what's on his football shirts? What's on the Farage Reform football shirts? A stylized Union Jack.
It is, but also if you pay £100, what's also on it is his signature. So the shirts are 40. The shirts are 40 quid, and if you want it signed, it's £100. That almost would make you buy a real United shirt for that.
That would make me vomit.
I know.
I mean, honestly.
Okay,
let's get away from this. Let's wrap this up. So we've talked about the Premier League. That's us.
We've talked about our first game, and result didn't go our way, but impressed with the performance, and especially the two main signings in midfield.
And we talked about how we believe Sunderland and Leeds will make a better fist of it than Burnley and still in the Premier League. West Ham and Everton, the Moyes connection.
that's bad. It is the Moyes connection. It's like a really, really bad 70s detective show. The Moyes connection.
I would actually watch that. That's the funny thing. I would watch that.
I am.
It's going to be awful if Everton do struggle for another season when they've got that new stadium.
I know. And I think being relegated without a new stadium is unthinkable.
And I like Everton. That's the thing. I like Everton. I don't want to see Everton
struggle. Yeah, I think the top level, not that you want it to be a closed league, but I think having Liverpool, Everton, Newcastle, Sunderland, having derbies in the league make it so you want those teams to be there or at least the challenge. So,
and one final thing I have to say, don't be like Anthony Gordon. Don't be a hypocrite. Did you see him?
No.
After the game, he's being interviewed straight after the game and talking about, because their next game is Liverpool, and talking about, the reception they'll get here, because alluding to Isak and how Isak is basically on strike because Liverpool have approached him and obviously tapped him up, blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, didn't you do the same thing for Everton?
That's different.
When you wanted to leave to go to Newcastle, didn't you stop going to training, refuse to play because you wanted to leave? Didn't you do the same thing? Nice hair, though.
Before we go, who was the Bournemouth player that did the same thing, went to Newcastle, and then Eddie Howe went to Newcastle and he was there and he never played again?
Oh, short fellow. Had no neck.
Didn't he do something similar?
He did exactly the same thing.
And then it was like...
And then Eddie Howe was side. It's
surprise!
Like, guess who? Oh, wonderful. Anyway, that's us for another week-ish. So...
See you next time.
Have a good one.
Well, that's it for today's episode of Fans United Podcast. Don't forget to follow us on all socials and leave us a 5-star review, unless you're a Liverpool fan.
And remember, please, football is a game of opinions. Ours just happen to be funnier than yours. So see you next time.
Right now, it's